video maybe of even less than 20 minutes. So welcome and thank you so much for showing up on our channel. And briefly, let's just get to our reaction of the day. Of course, not having enough time has forced me to do a video here. Then I'll be doing a video on edutainment for us that will allow me to 1 hour more. So guys, let's go after it. So into politics, guys. Today we've seen Rigathi Gachagua and his team in Ruai, and at the same time, we've seen the dispersal of cows from RUTO's end. So you realize that tribalism is part of Kenyans, because as I've always said and maintained consistently, if you go for jobs in the rural different places in this country, and you are on an interview, you'll automatically have people looking at you tribally. They'll ask you whether you're married there, whether you are maybe born there, or even ask for your surname when you have not mentioned it. And why do people do this? Because they want to know your particular tribe, and that's why they'll insist to understand your surname. Or else, why would somebody ask for a surname if you have already introduced your name using the religious or rather Christian name? So the reality is that Kenyans are tribal, but when it comes to politics, some of them used propaganda on maybe those who have been profound in mentioning things to do with the tribes or maybe defending their religions and such a thing, to want to cheat that they are not tribal. Now ask me why, for example, the president has a lot of CEOs, ambassadors coming from Rift Valley. And not, if not Rift Valley, then check on the names. This is something that is not even hidden anywhere, because you can check openly on the websites and you can get to have a list of those names. Now people have actually been blinded in a manner that they are now focusing on tribe in relation to speeches people give. Now one of the people who have been affected greatly is Rigathi Gachagua, because he kind of openly talks about his region, sometimes even uses his mother tongue and such a thing. Now, recently, you remember during the funeral of Beryl Acheng, it came out that he was being indicated as the enemy, that people don't hate Kalonzo Musyoka, but they hate the people he associates with, and intellectually would have understood what it meant. Now, far from that, let's see, now it's becoming a battle of two horses right here. Now, one horse being Ruto and the other Gachagua, but we have not yet seen the opposition picking their candidate. Of course, some people are insinuating it should be Kalonzo Musyoka, while the rest think it should be Rigathi. But still pending matters over his, after his impeachment, we are not so sure about the legal aspects surrounding that as a candidate. However, we've seen him consistently talking about possibly being a candidate or even being of a fundamental leader within the united opposition. Now today, of course, the united opposition was in Ruai. Now let's get at that, and you remember, or rather you realize that there was a cow that almost rest him down, and people have thought that it's Ruto who sent that. Do you believe in that? I don't think so. So possibly it's something that just happened, but as a result of political analysis, automatically that comes out as an element that will be used, you know, by a lot of bloggers to possibly drive the traffic jam towards the channels. But anyway, let's just get to see the fire between the two, and we can be checking here. Right here for some videos just shortly, because I don't have a lot of time, and that's why I had to do a video on Life Saga. Then during the evening moment, I'll possibly switch and check on edutainment for us and work on two videos that can take me 1 hour each. So let's just have evidence about what happened, because I don't like talking without evidence. We have almost 12 minutes to go. So let me quickly just flip through this. And of course, remember, the aspect that has been talked about, Kalonzo Musyoka is insisting on auditing. Now, you realize yesterday, Wandai was rejecting that, indicating that when they came to the signing, he never appeared. And that is neither there nor there. You know, once something has been revealed to the public, it takes a very different turn, especially in political lens. any saga is worth during political times, and that's why most politicians have understood how to actually manipulate the crowds by using these sagas that we have not known for long. Whereas they knew for long and kept quiet about it. Ask yourself why, for example, Rigathi Gachagua really is pouring out one after the other some elements that we did not know in the government. And at the same time, now we are seeing the government or ODM doing so. Now, I would also want you to think about this. If Rigathi Gachagua is really tribal, as it has been insinuated, would he be calling along ODM, Sifuna, Babu, and the rest of them to join his party? Look at how he's working with Malala. Now, politicians are very cunning. They are scheming, actually. They just read our minds, and now currently they know that no one wants, tribal politics, and therefore they have decided to use the face of the young people who came out earlier to begin this campaign of voiceless, tribeless, and leaderless. But now for them, they have leaders, and they are now trying to show that they are tribeless through their acts, because there is a speech and there is also an act. So let's just check into this part and see what happened in Ruai. Now, what I don't like about the consistency of United Opposition is that they keep using the same script all along. I just don't understand what maybe they think they'll achieve out of this, but this has been a trend that I've been seeing all along. So let's check on this video and see what Rigathi and Kalonzo Musyoka had while in Ruai.
Tujue mnakana mnagani, si ndio? Sisi tunajiandaa katika siasa ya Kenya, uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 2027. Tumfukuza huyu Kasongo kwa sababu ameharibu Kenya. Wangapi wanasema Kasongo aende? Wangapi wanasema aende? Muko tayari? Vijana Jenzimbo. Jenzimbo. Nyinyi Jenzi ndio dawa ya Kasongo. Mumejiandikisha vitambulisho. Jenzi mmechukua vitambulisho. Mumechukua kura. Harambee. 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 Kasarani oye. Mweki oye. Muko tayari kwa safari ya ukombozi? Ukombozi wa Kenya. Tumfukuza Kasongo. Aende nyumbani. Aende asiende? Aende asiende? Wangapi wanasema aende? Tunapoongea ameuza Safaricom. Ameuza Safaricom. Amejiuzia Safaricom. Utajiri wa kitaifa ameuza. Ameuza Kenya Pipeline. Ameuza Kenya Port Authority. Ameuza airport. Ameuza kila kitu. Amebaki kuuza watu ya Kenya. Kasongo aende asiende? Kasongo aende asiende? Mweki oye. Mweki oye. Si mnajua tumemalizana chama ya UDA. Chama yenu ni gani? Chama yenu ni gani? Chama yenu ni gani? Harambee. Waipa oye. Tufukuze Kasongo. Wangapi mshindwe? Kasongo ashindwe. Shetani ashindwe. Apotee asipo tayari kukomboa Kenya. Waipa. Waipa. Kalonzo. Gachagua. Mwiki. Asanteni. Na alafu nasikiliza ground pia, sio? Nasikiliza ground. Tumekuja tu kuwasalimu baada ya kwenda kanisa hapa Kasarani. Na nataka tuwashukuru sana waheshimiwa ambao tunaandamana nao. Kubali uuze Safaricom. Wangapi wanaungana na hiyo maneno hiyo? Because makosa yake tampiga Ruto risasi miguu ni one time. Sema one time. Wangapi wanasema Ruto one time? Na kura ilifanyika upande wa Mbere na Malava kule Western Kenya tukawashinda. Hapa Machakos tuliwanyorosha, upande wa Narok tukawanyorosha. Na kwa sababu ya narudi kwenda leta ingine, hiyo haitoshi. Namna hiyo na kisha baadaye, kwa sababu vijana hawana kazi, wameharibu nchi, heshima ya nchi. Kwa hivyo hao lazima wawe one term. Ama namna gani? Kumbukeni hata nani alisema vijana.
All right, guys, so you see that kind of politics continued. And of course, on the other end, we also heard Mother Karua speaking in one of the sittings. So let's listen to Mother Karua after having, engaged in this moment here. So, of course, Mother Karua is also another candidate based on United Opposition. Just before they pick the main candidate, and maybe I would wish you to also vote. Whom do you think possibly should be a suitable candidate in United Opposition? Because automatically we cannot say that they should not relate the way we had it being told in Bondo. They'll still relate to work as United Opposition. But then who should be the suitable candidate for you or for me? Who can really serve Kenya in the best interest of the people? So let's check on Mother Karua and what she said during the People's Audit moment using the Okoa Uchumi event. Of course, these Okoa Uchumi events are empowerment programs for the opposition possibly. So let's check on this.
Privilege of presenting some of these issues to you. You remember as a running mate of a campaign and coalition, and today we have an opportunity again to recommit to do these things. Mother Karua, let's appreciate that.
My twin brother, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, Tisa and Okoa Kenya, who are our hosts, members of parliament, and I see the Honorable Dindi Nyoro and Karori Omondi and Makali Mulu. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'll ride on the protocols already established. I'm going to be very brief, and I'm going to request that if my twin brother sees me walk off as he talks, it's not in protest, it's because I'm running late. I want to first start by congratulating TISA and Okoa Kenya. Okoa Uchumi, not Okoa Kenya, because of their report and of the work over the years, helping us to get a grasp of what goes on, teaching us that talking about the economy is not rocket science. It's the things that are happening to you. Because even inside Parliament, and the members of Parliament know it, when it's the budget, most members will lose interest, go about their business, and believe that only economists can discuss the subject. This is just about how you manage your finances at home, but now they are being managed at a higher level to cover the country. It's the difference between micro and the macro. So having said that, I've only 3 or 4 points following the presentation. The first one, what I got, each one of us has a role to play. Each one of us must use their agency as a citizen. And if you are standing in a space like Parliament, use also your agency as a member of Parliament. If you are standing in a position of authority, whether in Treasury or any other place, use your agency. If you are in civil society, use your agency as well, so that together we can push back. We are under threat. We are struggling to recover our economic sovereignty because we have been captured and the state no longer works for us, it works for a few. Allow me, members of Parliament, to agree with what Makali Mulu said, that there is much more you can do. And I'm wondering, and I was whispering to Karori, what if those who believe in it, you may be less than 10. What if you caucus together so that you aggregate your voices in the House, so that in any debate it's not one single voice, it's 5, it's 6 or 10. You may not win the vote, but you will sensitize the entire country. And when you say it in the house, we hear it more than when you are saying it outside. I want to tell you kindly, thank you for what you are doing, but amplify it by using that chamber and by coming together, even as individuals. We did it in the 90s. We would just be less than 20, but our voices were loud and clear. Please be loud and clear.
All right, so you realize that Martha Karua was focused on making the members of parliament whistleblowers, or rather people will demand for the right judiciary process. Because of late, of course, we've seen that the law is not being amended in line with what the citizens want, but rather what maybe the main leaders need. So the executive has been working more for some few people, as Mother Karua said, instead of working for the citizens. What do citizens want? Of course, citizens demand that the country has a better take on things and takes control over what is happening. And that is why in my discussion within this channel, though I don't have a lot of time, my time is already up and I'm supposed to rush back to my activity of the day. So the reality is that the leadership and the opposition and that fight, I'm not really referring to a war, but that fight in a political rivalry is very important. Very important because it also allows us to hear things that we would not expect to hear. So let's listen partly to Professor Herman Manyora, then we come back to the Kasarani event.
And say, huyu jamaa ametuona sisi ni mafala. So the Luya and they produce a presidential candidate.
Are they really going to do so?
RUTO, you are going home. It's quite a dilemma. It's quite a dilemma. Then you realize, so what can I do? Can I remain in Mount Kenya, but since Kindiki is weak, maybe I look for Ndindi Nyoro? So what do I do? And this is what RUTO ended up doing. He created a vacancy in Mbeere North by appointing the member of parliament from Mbeere North into his cabinet, CS Ruku.
Okay.
He created a by-election. Very clever. Create a by-election and they throw everything into that by-election. When you throw everything in that by-election, the opposition lose Mbeere North. UDA gets Mbeere North. Very clever. As indeed they did, even though merely making it by 400 votes. Well, how does that help RUTO? It helps RUTO because then he has the excuse or the reason to maintain Kindiki.
Okay. All right, Herman Manyora is speaking so slow. My time is up. But anyway, we will be coming back to discuss this seriously in the evening because it's a matter.
Tukasema tupitie hapa tumsalimie. Tujue mnakaa namna gani.
It's a matter that really demands a lot of time, but we've covered 20 minutes. So later on in the afternoon, we'll be covering more to do with this topic and see what will happen.
Concentration in certain areas to the detriment of
members will lose interest. Go about
road and
all right, so bye-bye. Let's meet later.